What's up, guys? So today I'm gonna do a little barbecuing. Growing up in New Jersey, I've had lots and lots and lots of barbecues, but I would say 99% of them were on propane grills. All right, not a lot of people, at least in my family and friends and neighborhood, ever did any kind of charcoal barbecue or anything like that, or smoking, or it was just all propane. It was simple, burgers and dogs and chicken. So I didn't know what this was until later in life. All right, so this is a starter for your charcoal, and I'm making this video. A lot of people, obviously these videos go all around the world, all across the United States. So many people know what this is. So many people do amazing barbecue, way more knowledge than I do. However, I'm doing this really simple because a lot of people still don't know what this is or how it works, and it's really easy. So anyway, I'm not calling anyone out because this was me at some point early on in my barbecuing career. But you know, the people who use like a gallon of lighter fluid, or they'll just buy the bag of briquettes that already have the lighter fluid in it, and it'll be this massive fire, and they'll keep squirting on fluid, and then they'll cook on it when, you know, the fluid's not even burned off yet. So a lot of times the food tastes like the charcoal fluid. Totally the wrong way. Totally not barbecuing. If you guys are doing any kind of charcoal grilling, you definitely need to let those charcoals burn up. If you're using fluid, which you don't need to use fluid, and that's the point of today's video, is I'm going to show you how to use this, and you can get those charcoal briquettes going with no fluid. It's totally unnecessary, so you don't have to impart that flavor on your food. But anyway, it's really, really simple. So that's why I want to make this video. For anyone who's seen these at like Walmart or Lowe's or Home Depot, and you don't know what it is, well, now you're going to find out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on the grill. All right, I'm using a tiny, cheap little grill. Anyone can get this. I mean, this is like a $25 grill. All right, so anyone can do this, and these things are like 10 or 15 bucks. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use our charcoal. You can use briquettes, but I'm using the lump coal because it's a little cheaper. Let me show you that. If you've never seen this, this is way cheaper actually than regular briquettes, but the downside is that sometimes you get little pieces, sometimes you get big old pieces. All right, so let me zoom in here. So you guys can kind of, well, there's no light coming in, but hopefully you guys will see that. When I dump it out, you'll see. But I mean, you know, some pieces are like this big and some are like huge chunks of wood, okay? But it's cheaper. If you want to use the briquettes, a little more expensive, but obviously it's all evenly sized, so that's kind of nice as well. But today we're going cheap. Super cheap. Cheap coal, cheap grill, but it's going to come out awesome. Alright, so I have this thing filled up with this charcoal. You can see they're very inconsistent. I actually grabbed one of these massive lumps to show you that. Of course, you could hit this with like a little hammer or something and break it out further, but you get little tiny pieces all the way up to massive chunks like this. Alright, so that's the only downside, obviously, but it is a lot cheaper. So anyway, so now that we have this filled up, if you notice on the bottom, alright, there's a cavity here. Let me see if I can show you that. What we're going to do is we're going to fill that with paper. Alright, so normally what I would do is, if I'm using any kind of charcoal briquettes, what I would do is I would cut the top of the bag itself off and use that for my paper to ignite this. However, the large bag is plastic that I just showed you, so obviously we're not going to burn plastic here. So I'm just grabbing some paper towels. Really simple, really easy. Alright, move this. I'm doing this all one-handed, obviously, so I can show you this. Just gonna bunch that in there. You can use any paper you want, printer paper, you know, anything you need to burn. Cardboard's fine. I'm gonna bunch up some cardboard, and then just light it. That's it. So hold on a second. Let me put my camera down for just a second, so I can fix this up, because I want this kind of fluffed up in there. All right, there we go. All right, and then just light the sides. You can use a match, a lighter, whatever you want. Get a light in there, right through the holes. All right, make sure you get round. Get the other side. You can poke some paper out of the hole to make it a little easier as well to light. We just want that to be on fire. Let's go around, do a bit over here. All right, really simple. And what's going to happen is it's going to start lighting the charcoal on fire. And what I didn't know when I was younger is that I thought the charcoal had to be completely on fire the entire time. It really doesn't. It takes very little heat, all right, to get that going. And then once it gets going, it's going to continue to burn. It's going to continue to get hotter. All right, so I'm going to let this burn, and you're going to see what's going to happen. I mean, it's going to get hotter and hotter and hotter. The bottom is going to start to glow red, which is going to create more heat, which is going to ignite the ones that are on top. And that's pretty much it. It could not be easier. There is zero lighter fluid, zero charcoal fluid used here at all. So if you don't like that taste on your food, well, first of all, if you're using it, you're supposed to burn it long enough where it's completely gone. All right, but you really don't need it. Spend 10 or 15 bucks on one of these things, and this is a super cheap one. They make nice ones. I've seen them where the handles, because when we're all done, we have to dump these out into the grill, but they have ones where you can like pull back on a trigger and the bottom door kind of opens up, so it just falls out the bottom, which is even easier. But yeah, if you're not using this and you're doing some charcoal grilling, you're really missing out. So really simple. I'm just gonna let that go. I'll show you, I'll come back in about maybe 5 or 10 minutes and show you where we're at. All right, but that's it. You light it and walk away. All right, we're coming back. This is about maybe, I don't know, 8 to 10 minutes later. Just wanted to show you this. I mean, there's a cool breeze out here, which really helps. Obviously, these are all the air holes on the side. But you can see it is glowing red hot on the bottom. You can hear it crackling and hissing and making all kinds of noises and stuff. But that is super hot. I mean, you could feel the heat radiating off of it. And like I said, this is just getting hotter and hotter and hotter and building, which is igniting these top coals eventually. All right, so when top coals have, you know, some ash on them and I can tell that they're good to go, that's when we're going to dump it out, spread it out, and then let these continue to burn, and then we're ready for our grilling. So yeah, I mean, this whole process, I don't know, maybe 20-25 minutes. It just depends. There's a lot of variables. I'm using the chunk charcoal. It happens a lot faster with the briquettes because they're all evenly sized, obviously. And most people will probably use the briquettes. This just happens to be cheaper. So anyway, that's it. So I'll be back when this is ready to be dumped. All right, so I removed the tray. So now we can dump. And carefully tilt this over and dump these guys out. That's it. We'll set this aside. Make sure that cools off before we handle it. Now we can grab some tongs and evenly distribute these, and then once there's no more flame, I'll put the top rack on and we'll go ahead and start cooking. All right, that is it. Could not be easier. All right, now we are ready to throw on our meat and start cooking. So I'm actually going to continue this into a cooking video, because why not? We're going to see if I can make some fake burn ends. All right, I'll be back.